some stuff in the political world and social world. But I also want a few more television shows I kind of want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the Charlemagne Show. It's called, what is the Charlemagne Show called? The Guy's Honest Truth with Charlemagne. Second episode came on yesterday. Watched it. Not as entertaining as the first one. I kind of liked, I gave it a description of it last week. I said it was kind of a cross between a little bit of a Chappelle Show, a little bit. He had a couple skits. He kind of did a skit, but it wasn't, I didn't like it as much. He was kind of more like the Daily Show, and he just talked a lot. And I said he need to have more of a panel. I don't know, maybe he'll evolve and get there, but yeah, take some pointers from your boy Merle. Like, I do my show, I'm solo right now, but it was real lit when I had the nightcap up in here. When I had these other guys, it was lit. You know what I'm saying? Just everybody got to bring something to the table. And that's what Charlemagne, I think, needs to do. I think the show would be a little bit better if he made that happen. But that being said, let's go ahead and the last of the show I wanted to talk about was the Wu-Tang series. Really enjoy that show. That show is dope. Like I said, I've been listening. I bought the 36 Chambers of Death on cassette when it first came out back in like 94, 95, something like that. And yeah, it's just great to see how they evolved. And now this series they got. It's not a docu-series, you know what I'm saying? They did it, so it's in their own words, but they did, hype it a little bit, But I enjoy it. So that's what's going on TV. But now let's go ahead and get to the message at hand. A couple things in the world going on. Let's talk about this. So what we have learned, the COVID is definitely separates people because, it's a lot of people that feels different things about it. But to me, I think the most important thing is that we respect each other, but also be a good human. I say that a lot. House Budget Committee votes to pass the $3.5 trillion spending bill. That's the new legislation that Biden has put out. Now, that doesn't mean anything. That means it goes to the floor and they get to talk about it. They get to argue and try to say, people come up and say, this is why we don't want to do this and blah, 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 blah. It's his administration. So, and, I don't know. It's crazy. It still hasn't passed the Senate. This is just the House. What happened? This is my problem. You get all the disparities talking about Britney Spears and her conservatorship. You got, all these distractions going on in the world. What happened to the George Floyd Policing Act? What happened to the John Lewis Voting Rights Act? What happened to those two major pieces of legislation that got black people out to vote for Joe Biden? What happened to that? The world seen George Floyd with a knee on his neck, God rest the dead. That happened. And everybody, even the people that didn't really rock with black people, was like, that was wrong. And the world was on ready. They was right there like something has to happen. Everybody didn't agree on what had to happen behind that, but the world knew something had to happen. That was the time to push the agenda. When that happened, Trump was president. So black people kind of figured, Trump ain't finna do nothing about that. Because he wasn't. He was president. He really didn't do nothing about that, right? But we was like, okay, Joe Biden, it's so brown, woo, woo, woo. We like, Joe gonna get in. He gonna make sure that this don't happen no more. We can't change what happened. The job is to make sure they don't going forward. This never happens again. Then people started putting these titles like defund the police. And people was like, I don't want to defund the police. Change it. Something has to happen. I'm not saying defund the police because I don't know, but I'm saying that all that money they need for all this extra gear and tanks and armor stuff to be a military in the neighborhoods ain't necessary. It ain't. You don't need all that. You don't. Real talk. I'd rather say you got more people you're hiring. You give them more jobs. Give them more training. You ain't got to defund the police, but give them the better training. Community training. Hire people from the community that look like the people in the community. Train them. Give incentive programs for the kids to maybe they can be the future of the police. I don't know. I know policing is necessary, but the policing that is currently being involved and we're dealing with is not the right policing. I'm saying that's what it is. So what happened to the George Floyd Policing Act? Where's that legislation? Say you got it. You got it, Joe. Where's it at? Get it done. Push that forward. You're trying to get some money. GOP don't even want to give you the money. They don't even give the people the money for infrastructure. They don't want to do it. They don't want broadband. They don't care about the country. Rural countries having broadband. They don't care about poor kids having broadband so they can do school from home. Don't care nothing about that. So anyway, my opinion only. So let me get back to what I wanted to talk about. Talk about this Gabby Petito thing, okay? God rest her dead. It's a tragedy what happened to that young lady. And reason why it's a tragedy, and I get why the media is giving it so much attention. I'm the media. Look at me talking about it, right? I hope I can give a different perspective than some other media outlets, though. This is my take on what happened to the young lady. The police failed her. Plain and simple. The police that pulled up on her, when the people called the police on them for having that domestic fight, because it was a domestic fight. And when you look at the video, when the police was talking to him, he had scratches on him. That girl wasn't hitting that boy for no reason. That girl was hitting that boy because she was, in my opinion, she was defending herself. They got into it. The man, a witness called the police, initially called the police, it's on the 911 tape, said he saw the man slapping her. He saw the man slapping her. He didn't say, I saw Gabby hitting him. Our witness said, I saw, and called it in. This wasn't after the fact. This is why they came. The police pulled up on him. I saw this man slapping her. So when the police get on scene, they pull him apart and ask him questions. You see scratches on him, so it's common sense. A witness said he was being slapped. I mean, that she was being slapped, but he's got scratches on her. That means that she was defending. It was a fight. They both should have went to jail, went to the station. And the reason why I say that, she would have still been here. Possibly still been here. Okay? A better tracking system of what's going on, better story of what's going on. The police was there. I feel they failed. That's one part of it. Domestic violence is very wrong. And the reason why I think, another reason I should say, not the reason why I said that was one reason. This is another reason why it failed. They took his word for it. They're in a relationship. She don't want to get him in trouble. They in another state. They're together. If he gets in trouble and goes to jail, what is she going to do? She's going to just sit around and wait for him. She's not going to leave him. And they said it was fighting because he was acting like he was going to leave her. Couples fight. But not when it comes physical. When it comes physical, the police are supposed to do their job. And women love to cover for men. Sometimes it is other. Sometimes women can be the aggressor. I'm not saying it can't be. But in that situation, my eyes tell me another story. It tells me if this witness said he saw this man slapping her and called the police. Police pull up, they see scratches on him. It's because it was bad. They should have did something. Now, the footage and the storytelling behind this and the coverage behind this is reason why it's so big. And because it being so big and ran on all the channels and in all the news outlets, the police do a better job. It's a little boy missing here in Iowa. It's been missing since July. I can't think of the little boy's name right now. I wish I'd have pulled it up right now. He's from Montezuma, I believe, the Montezuma, Iowa area. His name was brought up in that Molly Tibbetts case with the guy that they just sent to jail for that. This little boy is 11 years old. They still haven't found this little boy. It's not on the news every day. They should be talking about this story every day. I feel bad for what happened to Gabby. Very bad. It's unfortunate. She's a grown woman. That's all I'm saying. The difference is this is a little kid. This is an 11-year-old child that's still missing here in Iowa. And where's the coverage? The reason why it's not getting the coverage because his mother's poor. My opinion, the reason why they're not covering this story, his reward is only $35,000. Molly Tippett's reward was $250,000 to $300,000. Her story was on Good Morning America, on CBS Morning Live, or whatever. It's all the more Today Show. Her story was all over the nation. On the evening news, Molly Tibbetts, because she had an affluent family. The donations and the money that was put up for the reward was not just donations. Some of the money was from family members and themselves offering reward to find their child. If your child is missing and you have the resources to try to get the word out to recover your child, you're going to do that. That's what they did for Molly Tibbetts. They got out there and they got the word out. This little boy that's missing down in the Montezuma area, his mother's poor. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I watched the news story and she didn't look affluent. It wasn't a father in the video, it was just her. I'm not saying father's not in the pictures, I don't know the story. But in the video, it was just her. And they don't have the money to get out there and find her son. And evidently, she don't have the backing from the community to get the funds together to give a better search to find this little boy. This is an 11-year-old child that's missing. This 11-year-old white boy. This ain't even a black boy. It's not color. So this is why I said I'm going to talk about colorism, okay? It's green. It's about money. It's about finances. What's going on to the Haiti people down there on the border? The border under the bridge is cleared out. They're getting people moved around now. So it's a better situation. But the reason why it gets like that is because the world, my opinion, does not care for black people around the world, okay? It's a separatism when it comes to skin color. And it's not just the white community or other communities. It's also problematic in the black community, because we shun each other if you're fair skinned or darker skinned. Me, I'm a fair skinned person. And sometimes that's looked at different than darker skinned people. Now, I didn't realize that that was embedded in me until recently. Okay? And that's the problem when you can self-hate without knowing you self-hating. Okay? So when it comes to finances, the reason why the Afghan people are being welcomed over here and getting homes and they trying to set up jobs for them in their own communities of people from their country is because they come with money. The Afghans, they're not broke. They're not poor. Actually, the world organizations is going to give subsidies and tax credits for housing these people. But the Haitians who just lost their president was assassinated 2 or 3 months ago. Just had a tropical storm hit the country when they still recovered from that earthquake in 2010 that killed 150,000 people. They don't get they don't get the asylum. You come from a crappy country, a crap hole country is what the Border Patrol called the Haitians. Wow, hitting them with the range of his horse, the ranges, whatever that whip-like thing. Talking about he didn't come in contact. I seen video of him grabbing and swinging. He went swinging at your horse, bro. Second-class citizens around the world. Why? Because black skin is undeniable. Black skin is recognizable wherever you are. I don't care if your mother's white and your father's black, you're black in America. I don't care if your mama's black, your daddy's white, you're black in America. I don't care if your daddy's Asian, your mama's black, you're black in America. It's not about who your father is, or what country your father's from. It's about what blood is in your system. One drop of African-American blood, African-American baby. It's what it is. It's America. I didn't make the rules. It's what it is. So that being said, they put you, when they class you when you're born. They put you in a box in a situation when you're born. Now, should they find this dude? I think they should have found this dude that is involved somehow in Gabby's disappearance and death. How is he missing? Is his parents, they got a in their basement, or they got a what's that called? Safe room somewhere down there. They're making it believe that telling the story that he left somewhere, went to the swamps, sending the country on a wild goose chase in the swamps in Florida, while he's living up and his mama making cookies and cakes and like Hansel and Gretel and giving them in the safe room under the basement floor. Because that's where he was last at. The last time they knew, he was in Florida at his mom and daddy's house. And then somehow from him leaving his mom and daddy's house and somewhere in the world, he's just gone. He just disappeared. He's just off the grid. Got people thinking he got ate by alligators. Ain't no gators ate that man. He ain't that dumb. That ain't how you gonna kill yourself. If you gonna kill yourself, you ain't going to the swamps and get ate. That's horrible. That's a horrible way to go. Ain't nobody doing that, dog. Ain't nobody doing that. So he ain't commit suicide like that. Okay? That man is at his mom's house. His mom and daddy love him. He knew where to go. He got in trouble. He drove all the way across the country to get to his mama's house. He left that girl. Whatever happened, he was gone. He's hitchhiking. He had a Mustang. They seen his parents picked up. He had a convertible Mustang, a newer model. Man wasn't broke. He wasn't poor. His family got money. They ain't finna lose their son. His parents is older. They gonna do everything they can in the world to protect their son. And you would too. You would too. Do anything in the world to protect your child. Some of y'all playing good parents. I would do it too. I'm not saying I would do anything illegal. I'm not saying that here on the radio. I don't suggest or encourage anybody to do anything illegal. I'm just saying, as a human being, I'm going to support my children. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to support and be there for my children forever. Ever, any and everything. I'm there. I'm riding. I'm down. I'm down for the cause. It's my child. So why y'all think that They not doing that for this man. You don't think his parents helped? No, they weren't helping the police at first. They was like, lawyer up. We ain't talking to nobody. And at that time, they was, we got this safe room. He on the ground. That man is gone, Jack. He ain't walking through no swamp. He ain't in Canada. He ain't in They looking for him. You can't get away. To all this technology and cameras, there's no way he can get away. He is not off the ground. He's walking the Appalachian Trail. No, he ain't. He is not. He's at his mama's house. I'm telling y'all. Go in the basement and look around. I'm telling you, it's a trap door in the basement. Bro got some Twinkies, some Ding Dongs. He got some Capri Suns. You know, he got some Cheez-Its. Homie is good. He got some Pop-Tarts. You know, you ain't got to warm up Pop-Tarts. You can eat Pop-Tarts cold. Pop-Tarts don't spoil. They don't mold. You can make a Pop-Tart sandwich. Get you some peanut butter. I'm telling you, this bro on the move right now. I'll be doing my thing. All jokes aside, it is a tragic situation. I'm just saying, what's going on? This is America. Look harder for the other kids. See, I didn't even talk about the little 11-year-old kid that's missing here in Iowa. I didn't even go black. I didn't even talk about the black women that's missing that the police and FBI ain't giving no thought to. I was going to talk about the FBI too. Charlamagne talked about that on his show, so I'll let him have that. Anyway, this Merle on the Move. Chuck D and the Don't Stop comes up next. I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's show. You know, my man, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer from the world famous group Public Enemy comes on right after the Merle on the Move radio show right here at KHOI 89.1 Ames, Iowa, baby. I get to the end. I'll see y'all next week, Saturday, 9 o'clock. It's Merle. It's your boy.